Bueno, lo vamos a hacer en inglés, perdona. So, good morning, everyone. Let me tell you a little bit about Lucas. Lucas is making home ownership accessible and flexible for millennials and for other people today. Why? Because we believe that people should have access to home ownership today without sacrificing a lot of the flexibilities people seek in current lifestyle patterns. Why are we doing this? We're doing this because we're realizing that in major cities, people are spending over 40% of their income in rent alone. That means they're not being able to save money for a down payment, therefore not having access to home ownership till a later stage in life, sacrificing their financing today. To give you more context, in the EU, the UK, and the US, 71% of millennials are spending over 40% of their income in rent, and that's because they can't afford a down payment and lifestyle is not, current home ownership structures are not compatible with their traditional lifestyle patterns. This is a problem for banks as well because a lot of people are not applying for mortgages. They're afraid of big loans and at the same time they can't access them. Banks also can't afford to have higher LTVs on people just because of the need of home ownership. So that's what we're creating in Lucas, a rent-to-buy, accessible and flexible financing. How does it work? Instead of needing 30% of a down payment, 20 to 30% down payment, you only need 5%. So how does it work? You have 5% of a down payment, you choose a flat, Lucas comes up with the remaining 95%, buys it for you, leases it back to you, and you start accumulating equity on that home through your rent. At the end of the cycle, you have the exclusive option to buy it at a predetermined price. What do we want our tenants to do? We want them to have 10% by the time they have at least 3 years into the program. That means that they can either have come up with more savings on the side or could have flexibility. This flexibility gives you 3 formats. Either apply for a mortgage, where we're a bridge helping you to get financing. You can extend or upgrade. You can continue living in your flat, accumulating more equity, or you can apply to see if you can receive your 5% back. So it's flexible. It's more of a try before you buy it model. How do we do this? By aligning the interests in the sector today. By aligning with real estate agencies that already exist and outline the demand and the supply for the market, by aligning real estate capital that is looking for safe, steady returns in major cities, and by aligning tenants who are looking for flexibility when it comes to home ownership. We win when everyone wins, and it's a cycle. Agents win because they can close more sales, get more demand for their supply, and have reduced their sell cycles. Funds can increase steady IRRs, they get 5% upfront, and they get secure tenants. Tenants have access to home ownership, they can build on a credit score, and they have the flexibility of having a real estate investment. We win through a transactional model by allocating these investments, by helping through the operational phase, and also by closing them, making sure our tenants actually become homeowners. Tech is at the core of this, and we're focusing on 4 pillars: distribution, approval, underwriting, and operations. Our distribution is making sure that not just online but offline, real estate agencies can have a platform that can educate tenants and also help them understand what they can buy. Quick approval by making an instant algorithm to understand what they can afford and us approve their financing. Underwriting and operations to make sure that everything is smooth for all parties involved. And banks love us. Why? Because they're a part of every cycle. They're a part from risk to home ownership to actually investing in these type of impactful investing home ownership models. The market is huge. We have, in Spain, just over 7.5 million millennials and over 6.5 thousand real estate agencies. That's a lot of distribution platforms around. And the market, of course, it's big. And we know that 10% by 2025, 10% of the rental market will be looking for flexible models. Well, we're starting with underwriting, then working with owner and tenant financing. And our approach has been recognized by different international media platforms. The team comes from a background from New York, San Francisco, London, Madrid, Spain, and Latin America. And that is Lucas. Muchas gracias.